The day in the life of a real estate investor. We've had that question a lot of times. By the way, we love your questions, so keep sending us DMs, keep posting comments on these videos. Let us know what you want to learn about us, so we'd be more than happy to share that with you. I'm talking right now from my office, which is still unfinished. We're working on a lot of renovations here in our house. We live in our own product, which is interesting. So, day in the life of a real estate investor. I can tell you that it changes. So let me first tell you what it's like when you're a brand new real estate investor, what it was like for Amber and I 15 some years ago. When you're a real estate investor, when you're brand new, you have to, number one, find a house to invest in, right? So you have to start figuring out how to be a real estate investor. So you're gonna spend most of your days looking for properties. If you're part-time alongside a current job, that's what you're going to do. You're gonna look for properties because you can't invest or flip or wholesale or turn into a rental or a short-term rental, anything until you find it. So you first have to find a piece of property. You're gonna spend your days driving around looking for vacant properties, talking to code enforcement people looking for those kind of properties, talking to neighbors, networking. You know, that's what you're gonna spend your days doing initially when you start as a real estate investor. Then you're gonna find time and spend time in learning how to fund that deal. Where will you get your money from? How will you do that? So you'll spend time in that while your house is closing. The next thing you'll do is find someone to renovate the house for you, a contractor, unless you want to do some of the work yourself, which we don't recommend, but if you want to, you certainly could do that. But that's what you'll do, is spend time there. And then you'll go through the process of all of that. It's very complicated through that process, but you'll spend your days managing the property, managing the materials get to the property, talking to Home Depot, talking to your suppliers, lining things up and coordinating that job. And the next thing you'll do is you'll get that house staged, prepped for sale. Either you'll sell it yourself or you'll list it with an agent and you'll spend your time there selling the house. Now, you'll do the lion's share of that work when you get started, but what happens when you evolve? When you start to evolve and your business evolves, what you'll start to do is this. You'll start to hire some people to help you in certain areas of your business, and then your daily responsibilities and habits will change. Our first hire was an assistant. She came to our condo, our 2-bedroom condo. She came there from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock every day, 5 days a week. And so when she came and did that, we no longer had to do the responsibilities of the clerical side of things because she did that for us. Certain phone calls, certain inspectors, certain things, looking for property, she would help us out with that. So there's certain things that an assistant can help you do, and that will change what you do. Then you'll hire a salesperson, for instance, that'll help you to find more properties. Then you'll probably end up hiring a project manager if you're smart and have somebody handle all those headaches for you on your properties, and then you'll hire a real estate agent and so on and so forth. So let's evolve quickly onto where we are today. If you build your business correctly, in the early days, you will do a lot of the work yourself. But as you begin to sub that out and hire other people on your team to help you, even part-time, your habits will change. Now, in the course of a day, I'm on meetings, right? Our flipping company does about 100 plus deals a year. We're expanding in multiple locations, so we have coaches that we work with. And so I'm usually on meetings. We do what's called a level 10 meeting, which is a company meeting once a week, and I'm on that meeting every week. I'm talking to our financial people every week to make sure things are in line, and I'm more in meetings. I actually do miss a little bit of the grind, kind of being, having the deals come to me and having the relationships there, but I'm really removed from that. Now, we moved to Florida last year. Many of you who follow us may know. So we will eventually be investing more down here in Florida. But for right now, we're still getting things situated up in New York. So my day now is more about meetings and managing people and building a team. When you start, it's about building your first piece of property to flip. When you start to evolve, if you want to get bigger, you're gonna then invest your time in building a team and finding the right people on that team. And that's what the day in the life of a real estate investor is now. You know, certainly I can make up my own schedule and do what I wanna do, and you can too, but that is how it works. It starts out with you doing a lot of the legwork and what I call in the weeds, but as you evolve every single section of your business, as you hire people to help you in those sections, you'll do less and less of those particular things and be able to rise above. And the eventual goal is to sit what's called the owner's seat. If you want to sit in the owner's seat, an owner sits above their business and is able to have people like a CEO and a COO, vice presidents, and whatnot, that actually run your day-to-day business for you while you just take part, you know, kind of keep an eye on things through the board meeting and whatnot. and maybe you meet, once a month or once a quarter and just read the numbers, see how it's doing, but you're not involved in the day-to-day at all, but you get a profit check. That's the owner seat, and that's where a lot of us are heading. So think about where you want to be in that journey, pick a spot, but you got to get started to do it. So that's the day in the life of a real estate investor.